Yo, welcome back to week 5 episode of the High Time Podcast, episode 4. We're excited to be back. Thank you guys for coming back. And before we get to start our show today, I'm gonna give a quick little shout out.
Hey.
You already know who you are. Shout out to the Dodgers, baby. NL West champions. We hit that game yesterday. Y'all thought the Dodgers weren't gonna win, but Dodgers. Shout out to Dodger baseball out there.
Play with it.
You know it. Anyway, let's get this show on the road, baby. So, week 4, Alex. How's the week 4, bro? Ryan Fitzpatrick out of the starting job. How about that?
So week 4 brought Fitzpatrick out of his starting role.
Fitzmagic is over.
I don't like it.
Fitzmagic is over.
I don't like it.
Jameis Winston, I guess
like
Jameis Winston. So if you have Fitzmagic, you better drop him. I know you guys started him. Maybe you guys started him. He was on a roll.
You never know.
He was on a roll.
Actually, hold up. Winston might fuck up this week, and he might be back in the starting lineup.
I just don't understand how.
How are
you gonna pull him that? How are you gonna pull that? Ryan Fitzpatrick beat the Eagles and the Saints, and you pull him? I mean, yeah, they got blown out by the Bears on Sunday, but I mean, he was.
It's
rolling.
also the Bears too. They have a solid defense.
We called it last week. We called that he was going to struggle against the Bears. Yeah.
To pull him from his starting job?
I don't know. They pulled him at the half, guys. They threw Jameis Winston in the second half.
He's the number 3 fantasy player right now. Out of a starting job.
Ryan Fitzpatrick's having a better fantasy year than Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, Goff.
He's only number 2 to Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
That's messed.
Yep, and you're going to go out there and bench him.
That is messed.
Look at Tampa Bay. I don't know what you guys are doing out there, but you guys know more than us, obviously. So.
But what are your guys' thoughts on that? Let us know.
Drop below. Should Fitzpatrick still have his job?
Fitzpatrick still have his job? Hashtag Fitzmagic.
Well, Fitzmagic is definitely a sit this week. And speaking about sits, let's get into some starts and sits this week at quarterback. We're starting off with the running backs, correct?
Yeah, let's go running backs.
Let's go running backs. Alex, what you got for me for your first running back start of the week for this week 5?
My first running back is a guy that likes to throw blows and actually got ejected from the week prior, and that's Denver Broncos running back Phillip Lindsay.
I thought you were going O.J. Simpson. My bad. Phillip Lindsay. All right.
Phillip Lindsay. He had a pretty solid game.
Yeah,
he's the fast-paced running back. He's a change-of-pace back, but he's running good. His legs look solid, right? The only thing that I didn't like about him was the fact that he was throwing jabs and he got ejected, but obviously the Broncos didn't care because they let him lead in touches.
Yep.
So they weren't even tripping about it. So leading forward, I like Lindsay.
Yep.
And then they were also giving him some goal line touches too, where I thought Freeman should have gotten the reps, but he got an end zone. I like Phillip Lindsay against the Jets this week.
Yeah.
And then another running back that I like as well too is Matt Breida against Arizona. So Arizona's giving up a hell of a lot of touchdowns this year. They're giving up a lot of yards overall total. So I believe that Matt Breida is going to be able to find some room there. Birthday didn't look too bad. He found Kittle pretty high as well too. So look for Matt Breida to start taking the lead on that team.
Yeah.
And I like Matt Breida. I like Matt Breida this week. So how about you?
Well, Matt Breida, he's top 5 in the league in rushing, correct?
Yeah, he's still top 5. He's number 3 right now.
Matt Breida's getting some. Yeah,
it's
he's definitely getting those.
Zeke's number 1 now.
Yeah, I want to say Zeke top 5. I want to say Zeke's up there. Marshawn Lynch is up there. Todd Gurley's up there. Matt Breida's definitely in there with
Zeke, Gurley, and then Breida.
Breida's definitely up there with some good talent. So my starts of the week it's going to be Lamar Miller against the Dallas Cowboys. Lamar Miller coming back off an off week. He had a 4.9 points last week, but he had 14 the week before, 11.9 points. He's getting those points, but one thing that Lamar Miller hasn't really done, he hasn't really hit that end zone as much as the Texans would like. Previous years, previous years, the Texans actually used that running in the red zone, but Deshaun Watson's passing the ball a little bit more. But I feel like it's a good thing, that opens up the run. Because if they're expecting to pass a little bit more, then a lot of open holes for Lamar Miller are going to open up. Those gaps are going to start opening up. And that Dallas run game is not the best. They just lost Sean Lee for a couple weeks. That's a middle linebacker right there that the Cowboys really have depended on the last about the 5-6 years from now. So I expect Lamar Miller to bounce back from that 4.9 week. It was definitely a slow week last week. They came out with the win, the first win of the season. So I think the stride for the Houston Texans is definitely going to take off from here on. And my second start of the week is actually going to be Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones coming back from suspension. We really tossed up who was going to get that starting role in there in Green Bay, and Aaron Jones really solidified himself last week. Aaron Jones had a great week, 15 points last week. And the Detroit Lions defense, not the best running defense as well. They've given up 3 rushing touchdowns this year. And then with Aaron Rodgers, it's hard to, you got to play that passing game. You can't play a run against Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers is going to throw the ball. So that really helps the Packers running backs. So there are going to be a lot of more open gaps, like I mentioned, with Lamar Miller. And like I said, Jamal Williams hasn't really performed what the Packers like, and Ty Montgomery hasn't really performed either. So it looks like Aaron Jones is going to be getting those reps.
Yep. And I say, guys, if you guys have Montgomery or Williams, it's safe to drop them now. Yeah. I already dropped Williams. I had Williams and Aaron Jones, so I'm sticking and rolling my dice on Jones.
Do you think Aaron Jones probably got those reps?
Yeah. So I'm going with Aaron Jones. He moves way better. He was just way more explosive. Mm-hmm. The only thing that Williams has on him is the blocking part of it, but that's just a part of the game that Aaron Jones didn't have to learn. So. Yeah. I'm rolling my dice on Aaron Jones. I dropped Jamal Williams to make some space for somebody else.
Definitely a good start this week against that Lions.
Yep. Defense. So Aaron Jones, solid.
Yep. How about those sits this week? When you're into week 5 now, you're kind of like set on your starting lineup, but there's some matchups in there that you consider sitting some running backs, right? Yeah,
there's some matchups. Some big names like there's.
I think Dalvin Cook. You mentioned Dalvin Cook, correct?
Yeah. So Dalvin Cook is a person who hasn't been really performing too well. And then, I mean, as you guys have seen him play last week, he didn't put up anything. He put up 2 points. Yeah. He did play the Thursday game coming off of an injury. I get that. But this week he has an even tougher matchup because he's going up against Philadelphia at home.
A good front line
Philadelphia, right? So, they got a solid front line. They are the number 1 defense when it comes to rush. So they allow the fewest yards per game, something around like 60 rushing yards per game. So they're not really giving up too much. So Dalvin Cook hasn't really performed to expectations.
Excuse me to interrupt you, but what seems to be wrong with Dalvin Cook? I mean, last year a lot of people were high on him this year, and last year he got it going and got that injury. But what's wrong with Dalvin Cook this year?
I mean, remember last year we only got a 4-game sample of him. Yeah. So we got 4 games before he tore his ACL. Uh-huh. He's still a rookie.
Technically, yeah.
He's still a rookie, so he's still learning how to read defenses, find holes, and find gaps. So that's really what I see wrong with him when I'm seeing him run. Is just not being able to find and pound that hole. His explosiveness, his cuts, and everything like that are there. So I see him performing towards the back end of the season. Right now, he has some tough matchups ahead of him. It's going to be hard for him to find that running room. So the way that they're throwing the ball as well, too, it's not like they're really relying on it. So
coming off an injury, I'm pretty sure he's just easy. He's slowly easing into it. You got to give him a couple
You got to get him in there. But I would not start him this week. So I would play him now as a matchup basis until he actually shows you that
what he can skip with. Yeah, that explosive power he was in Florida State.
So I personally don't like Dalvin Cook. And then another guy that I don't like is Carlos Hyde this week. So he's going up against a tough Ravens front as well too. Yeah. I feel that they are going to involve Duke Johnson more this week in the pass attack to try to free up Baker Mayfield as well too, because he's gonna have a tough time. Chubb performed as well too. So
3 carries only for Chubb.
3 carries. So this guy hasn't averaged any carries at all. He's
more attempts from him.
Less than five attempts per game. He's playing a low snap count as well too. But he's efficient. Every time that he touches the ball, it's explosiveness. Yep. So look for them to incorporate him more. I don't like Carlos Hyde this week, especially with his matchup. So I would sit Carlos Hyde this week versus Baltimore. So that's just a guy that I would be very cautious of. Yeah. I feel like they're going to be either playing from behind a little bit, so they're going to have to pass more.
Yeah, with that Carlos Hyde thing, it's cool to incorporate that dual running back when you're incorporating a triplet running back with Johnson, Chubb, and Hyde. That's reps taken away from Hyde, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. So it's hard to do that. For my sits of the week, I'm gonna go with Adrian Peterson against the New Orleans Saints. Adrian Peterson's having a solid year. I'm very surprised of his production so far. He's had 2 20-plus fantasy points games. He's getting in the end zone. He seems to be clicking with that Redskins line, but he's coming off an injury. He didn't play last week. He had that bye week. He was able to take that time off, but he's coming off an injury and he has that history of injuries. So I feel like it's just more of a red flag than just not a red flag. I would say like a yellow flag. Just be safe with him. You don't want to risk him. You don't know how many reps he's gonna be getting coming off that injury. They have Chris Thompson in that backfield, so then they have other options. AP. I don't think they want to overwork him on that game, especially against not a bad defense, a good front with Cam Jordan with that Saints defense and So,
yeah, Saints have a terrible backfield.
Yeah, but they have a good front.
They don't have a good passing defense, but they actually have a surprisingly good.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I say it's hard to really trust someone coming off an injury. It's like Dalvin Cook, it's hard. He's coming off an injury. Obviously, the production's not there. And Adrian Peterson is of age. He's old, so I don't expect a big week out of Adrian Peterson. Another guy I don't really like this week is Jay Ajayi for that against the Minnesota Vikings. Jay Ajayi, I like him as a running back, but at the same time, I feel he's not as explosive as he was with the Dolphins. The Philadelphia Eagles seems to be more of a pass-first team with Carson Wentz back there, and he hasn't really done much. 37 carries for only 155 yards, so that's not really a good average ratio right there. He hit the end zone twice that first week, but since then he's been very quiet. He's dealing with another with the injuries. Injuries seems to be a big highlight here in 2018 fantasy football, with the tight ends, running back, wide receivers, quarterbacks. So I feel like those two guys, just strictly based on matchups and injury prone, I would not consider starting them this week.
All right. Yeah, another one I would be wary about as well too, guys, is any of the Seahawks running backs this week against the Rams. So
Aaron Donaldson,
yeah. I don't think the Rams have allowed a rushing touchdown yet this season.
I'm not sure Chris Carson's going to be back this week.
Yeah,
and like
Chris Carson is going to be back this week.
Off an injury.
Pete Carroll already said that they're going to incorporate Mike Davis as well, 2 more in there. So that's a nice little target as well too. But I wouldn't start anybody that week against them.
It's hard to start against that defense too. That
defense is hard.
Yeah, so on to the wide receivers starts. I'll go ahead and start us off. You start off the running backs. Wide receiver that I like this week, and then I mentioned I believe in, I want to say the week 3 or week 2 video. I'm not too sure. It's going to be a Juju Smith-Schuster out of the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Atlanta Falcons defense. I highlighted that Atlanta Falcons defense last week, and I believe they didn't perform. They ended up taking that loss last week. And the Atlanta Falcons defense, like I said, when you have injuries, it's hard to really put replacements in there. You're starting rookies, secondary people. You're starting normal backup people, and a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers with a very veteran quarterback is going to expose those secondary. Antonio Brown's not having a great year, but he's having a good year. And like I said, you're not going to double team Juju Smith-Schuster. You're going to double team Antonio Brown, and that just makes Juju Smith-Schuster more of a valuable start. So he's definitely gonna get those looks, and like I said, I'm expecting a very high explosive game out of them, and it's just two defenses that don't really click. So I'm expecting a high scoring game. So I'm expecting Juju Smith to get in the end zone, hopefully maybe once. I called it that 1 week he got in the end zone, he did get in the end zone. So hopefully we get some more celebrations out of Juju Smith-Schuster. Another guy I like is Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp last week. How about that game on that Thursday night game? Cooper Kupp went off. Cooper Kupp had 45.2 points that Thursday night game. Yep, in that PPR league. I'm expecting another big game out of him. He has that momentum. He's facing the Seattle Seahawks. They lost Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas is the guy who covers that slot in the secondary up the middle of the field. Earl Thomas is going to be out. So, it definitely opens up some room for Cooper Kupp. And like I said, Jared Goff is clicking right now. Jared Goff is definitely someone you should really consider starting now because Jared Goff is out there and he's clicking. And I like Cooper Kupp. I was a big fan of him coming into this year, and I expect another big game out of Cooper Kupp this week, Alex.
All right, so it was Cooper Kupp
and Juju Smith.
So would you say that Juju Smith at this point is a must-start every week now?
You know what? I would say he is definitely as a flex.
As a flex?
I don't know about you. Wide receiver 2. He's putting up more than 20 points a game. He has last week. He actually had a down week last week against that Baltimore Raven. Big Ben couldn't get anything going against that defense that Sunday night game. But I would consider Juju Smith as definitely someone to start every week.
Juju Smith is a must-start, yeah, right? Yeah, so far, he's put up 21, 36, 25, and last week he put up 10. So.
And that's as a flex. 10 is not
all right,
bad.
So, at this point, I could see him as well, too, being
starting every
solid
week.
Starting as a flex,
so
for
definitely
sure.
Consider that.
So, for myself, I have, 3 players that I do like. So, one of them was the one that I told you guys, go pick him up off of waivers last week, was Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
He went off again. Put up 2 more touchdowns. So right now he's the leading receiver in touchdowns. So he has 6 now. So he's going up this week against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh has a terrible passing defense.
Yeah.
So just look for Matt Ryan to continue his flame and just keep burning. So the problem with Atlanta Falcons was what? They could not find the end zone, right?
Yeah.
Last year they could not find the end zone. Now they got the top receiver scoring touchdowns. So, you know what? I think they found a red zone weapon who's going to be able to help them out there where Julio's not able to. So, you know what? I really do like Calvin Ridley this week. Another player, I know he mentioned Cooper Kupp as well too. I personally like Robert Woods this week against Seattle. So
he had a great week too.
Yeah, he had a great week as well too. He has been nothing but consistent. So just like Cooper Kupp, actually anybody in that Rams,
I was about to ask you, would you start the Rams with wide receivers?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Anybody on that Rams is offense is getting work. Yeah. Cooks, Kupp, and Woods. So I like all the receivers from the Rams. Goff is going off. They have a great matchup this week as well too, against Seattle, right? So like you already said, they're beat up. Yeah. So I like Robert Woods this week. For me, myself, he's my flex play, and I'm starting him every week because he's producing. I mean, exactly. he was able to do that against the Vikings. So he's on the team with the best defense. So it's not like he has to go against the Rams.
Yeah, exactly.
So you know what?
Good matchup.
I like Woods. So for me, Woods is my must start flex. So he's my solid flex start. Blah. And the last one that I like too is another guy we told you guys to pick up off waivers, Tyler Boyd. So he had another big game as well too. So I think he went over 100 receiving yards this week. So he's continuing to get those receptions. 26 points. How many receiving yards?
Exactly 100 on the dime.
100 receiving yards on the dime. Right. So he had a solid game, solid stat line. Yep. He's getting that love from Dalton. Right, so considering that nobody else there stepping up, Eifert is out now. Yeah. So sucks for another tight end to go down.
Well, you guys know already, I have tight end problems. Guess who picked up Eifert last week, and guess who got hurt? Tyler Eifert.
So you have how many tight ends who have gotten hurt?
Delaney Walker got hurt. Will Disley got hurt. Tyler Eifert got hurt, and someone else.
I know Greg Olson's hurt.
Greg Olson, but my tight ends haven't seemed to be healthy this year.
Mondo just cannot get tight ends
at all. So if you got tight end, help me out. If you got tight end out there that I could consider picking up, let me know because I need some tight end help.
All right. So
who
those are the stars there. For me, who I don't like.
Yeah, who don't you like this week?
One matchup that I don't really like is Sammy Watkins versus Jacksonville.
He's not having a bad year this year. But
he's not having a bad year, so it's just a bad matchup. Most of you guys drafted Sammy Watkins on the latter end of the draft. Yeah. You guys probably have a little bit better receivers to start over him.
Yeah, most definitely.
He's probably a receiver that I would shy away from, especially with that Jacksonville defense. So I would just stay away from him because one of the two top corners from there are going to be covering him. And
Sammy Watkins didn't even play last week.
So
he had an injury, separate from a hamstring injury. So like I said, injury seems to be like a big highlight of today's show. At least we talked about injuries a lot so far.
Because everybody's getting
a lot of people are getting hurt. A lot of people, and that's why people criticize Tom Brady for bringing his trainer with him on games. You gotta stay healthy. Tom Brady's doing it right. I mean, they criticize him for bringing a trainer with him, but I mean, you could tell a lot of people are getting hurt.
And he's obviously staying healthy.
Yeah, Tom Brady doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, so that's one that I don't like. Another one who I don't like, who probably you guys don't feel has a tough matchup, but does have a tough matchup, is Devin Funchess versus the New York Giants. Okay. So the New York Giants actually have one of the best passing defenses in football, and they have allowed very few touchdowns as well too. So considering that Funchess is their number one, unfortunately, and the Giants are going to be covering the number one, taking away that
and
threat.
And they have Janoris Jenkins there. Good corner.
I just don't feel that he's going to really get too much there.
Yeah.
So he might get a couple of receptions, right? But the only way that I can see Devin Funchess producing anything is by him scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not his forte. So
yeah, exactly. He doesn't really score a lot of touchdowns. He only has one so far.
Devin Funchess against the Giants, I don't like it.
Yeah, I like that one a lot actually. I didn't think about that one. That was a good one. So I'm gonna go ahead. My sit of the week. I'm gonna go Amari Cooper versus the Los Angeles Chargers. The only reason why we're talking about matchups here, and the Chargers have a corner who travels their best running back, a wide receiver for the other team. That's Casey Hayward. Now, Casey Hayward is considered to be a top 3 cornerback in the league, and he trails their number 1 receiver. And Amari Cooper is number 1 receiver. And Amari Cooper last year didn't have a lot of great games against the Chargers last year. It just has to go with, there's nothing wrong with going back into looking at previous years of what they've done. And Amari Cooper just hasn't had good numbers against the Chargers last year. I believe his first game he only put up 10 points. And as of someone like Amari Cooper who would be considered a wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2, that's not going to cut it. 11 points not going to cut it at all. You know, he's been inconsistent this year as well. Week 1 only 2 points. Week 3 he had 3 points. You know, so he's like a roller coaster, and I'm not secure starting someone like a roller coaster.
Yeah, I'm very iffy about him as well too.
Yeah,
he's kind of like I have him in a couple of leagues.
He had a good week last week.
A week by week player
exactly.
now.
You just gotta look out for him. And that matchup against the Chargers, I feel like the Chargers, you know, they have a great defense.
He's either gonna lose you the game or help you win the game.
Exactly. And you mentioned last week the Chargers had a good defense, and I'm expecting them to not really let Amari Cooper get too open. Another guy I really don't like this week is going to be Nelson Aguilar out of the Vikings. You know, he's not really clicking with Carson Wentz, actually. You know, I was looking at his stats. You know, week 1 and week 2, with Nick Foles, Nelson Aguilar actually put up some points. You know, he was definitely someone to keep on your radar. But since Carson Wentz's been back, Nelson Aguilar only had 6 points and 4 points last week. Yeah. So you just
he's hooked up with Jeffrey, too.
Yeah, Jeffrey had a big game last week.
He hooked up with Jeffrey last week. So it looks like that's the matchup.
And Zach Ertz, you know, he's looking at Zach Ertz more than he's looking at Nelson Aguilar. And Nelson Aguilar has some trouble dropping the ball as well. And he's going against the Vikings defense. You know, you can't knock that Vikings defense. You know, last week they got exposed by the Rams, but, you know, they still have Sendejo. They still have Xavier Rhodes. You know, they still have those big names on that defensive line. I just don't think the Vikings are going to... I feel like the Vikings are going to try to beat the Eagles because, you know, the reason why they didn't go to the Super Bowl. And, you know, that just hit me in the head right now. That just hit me right now.
The Vikings are going to try to beat the Eagles?
No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I thought you thought what I thought. What I meant was the Vikings got knocked out by the Eagles last year. And like I mentioned with the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Patriots game.
They're looking for revenge.
Exactly. And the Jaguars came out and they whooped the Patriots. So, you know, I'm not going to stick the middle finger because my dad's watching. But... Nelson Aguilar, don't sit him. Go ahead, you pissed me off. On to your quarterback or tight end.
Let's go quarterbacks.
Piss me off. Quarterbacks, let's go.
All right, so
what do you like
quarterbacks. So the guy that everybody laughed at me because I drafted him in the 8th round, Mr. Matt Ryan. Week 1 put up 8 points, and since then has been on fire.
Matt Ryan, yeah.
On fire. So last week just did work again. This week he has an even better matchup against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has a terrible pass defense. So look for Matt Ryan to just continue heating up. He finally got Calvin Ridley now.
He's going.
So
you know what? There.
Now he has Ridley, Sanu, Jones, and you got Hooper running right there too.
And Tevin Coleman coming out of that
with Freeman. Hopefully he might be back this week as well too. So that's actually what it looks like. He's going to be back.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt Ryan is coming up.
It's going to be a high-scoring game in Pittsburgh. Yeah,
right?
So high-scoring game.
I like Matt Ryan at Pittsburgh. So look for him to have a big game. Another guy that I like too is Jared Goff. So Jared Goff.
Is he a must start now?
Huh?
Jared Goff a must start now?
Jared Goff. I don't know if he's a must start, but I mean, depends on who's your quarterback, right? So I mean, right now he's performing better than Aaron Rodgers. He's performing better than Tom Brady.
You can't go wrong with 23, 33, 47.
You cannot go wrong with that. Right, you cannot go wrong with that. So it just depends on who you got. Like let's say you got Drew Brees. I know he put up a dud game this past week, but
hard to sit someone like Drew Brees.
You can't sit someone like Drew Brees when he has that kind of consistency. Now let's say that you were with Fitzpatrick and now he got fucked,
or Stafford,
or you know somebody who you're not as happy with, like Mariota,
or just even matchup wise,
Big Ben. You know, let's say somebody who's not up to par.
Yeah, exactly.
Plug in Goff.
Exactly.
Right. So Goff is pretty damn near starting him. Just depends on who it is. Right?
Shout out to Goff. You know, he had that terrible rookie year, and Sean McVay definitely helped Jared Goff out a lot. I was watching the Thursday night game, and they mentioned that Kirk Cousins owes a lot of his success to Sean McVay. So Sean McVay looks like a quarterback coach, and you can see it in Jared Goff.
Yeah, so I like Jared Goff at Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jared Goff. I don't want to get too much into Jared Goff, but my starts for the week for quarterback, I actually like the opposing quarterback of Matt Ryan as Big Ben. You know, I feel like that game's just gonna be a high-scoring game. You know, like I said, you really gotta be a smart fantasy owner, smart fantasy manager. You gotta pick the matchups, dude. Like the Atlanta Falcons defense, every week since I mentioned they're gonna struggle, they've struggled. You know, just the loss of those two safeties and that middle linebacker has really hurt the Atlanta Falcons. Luckily, you mentioned Matt Ryan's just playing better than what the other quarterback is playing, so they're winning games. But like I said, Big Ben, I'm expecting a lot out of him. He had a down week against Baltimore last week. He only had 14 points. But another thing I want to highlight is actually I told you guys to start Andy Dalton last week against the Atlanta Falcons, and Dalton put up 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception for 29 points. So that was definitely a good start if you listened to me last week. So I thought Big Ben is going to go into Atlanta and do the same thing that Andy Dalton did, if not better, because he has more weapons on that offense than Andy Dalton has. And also like Phillip Rivers, my own Phillip Rivers, against the Oakland Raiders. We got the win last week, and Phillip Rivers played a great game. But this one I'm really going to highlight on previous matchups against the Oakland Raiders. So I'm going to give you guys a couple stats real quick. Phillip Rivers against the Raiders is 16-8 all time. He has 6,055 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, just against the Oakland Raiders alone. So he seems to have the Oakland Raiders numbers. He places them twice a year. And, he's doing his thing. Last year he put up 38 points throughout the season last week against the Oakland Raider defense. And they only got worse. They lost Khalil Mack. So the Oakland Raider defense only got weaker. Yeah. So I'm expecting a lot out of Phillip Rivers. And just for example, that Raider defense, Ryan Tannehill put up 29 points, and Phillip Rivers is way better than Ryan Tannehill. Yeah. So just for example, I expect a big game out of Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. And Phillip Rivers was actually my start last week as well too.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
He did good.
He threw
3 touchdowns, threw for 250 yards.
Yeah, he's doing the same.
So he put up 21 points. So minus that interception, he would have had a 23-point game. So, like we said, that's what we're expecting out of our quarterbacks. Exactly. Is 20 plus points, 25 plus points.
Yeah, exactly. Phillip Rivers doing the same this year. So some people I don't like. I don't like Russell Wilson against that Ram defense. Like I said, previous years, Ram defense. He shut him down. The Ram defense last year. Only held Russell Wilson both games below 12 points. That's really, really, really not that good at all. Mm-hmm. And that's what I don't like against that Ram defense. And the Seahawks just don't have any weapons, Tyler Lockett, I'm not expecting a lot of big game out of him. The AC just got
the AC just turned on.
It got kind of hot in here, I'm not going to lie. But, Doug Baldwin's still out. The running game's hasn't, they're hurt. So I don't really like Russell Wilson this week. And I don't like Patrick Mahomes against the Jaguars. Patrick Mahomes he's doing good. Don't get me wrong. You got to put respect on that Jaguar defense. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm big on that Jaguar defense. He shut down Tom Brady, and Mahomes will probably get you 16 or 15 points, but I don't expect Mahomes to get you plus 20 against the Jaguar defense. And that's kind of a bold prediction I'm gonna go with this week.
Yeah, I see. All right, so that's who you don't like.
Yeah, exactly.
So for myself, a player that I don't like this week is Mr. Dak Prescott at Houston. So I know you said you don't like him last week.
Yeah.
I don't like him this week. So he's just a player that hasn't been performing. They've just been heavily reliant on Zeke. So I don't like him this week as well too. Houston has a tough matchup. He hasn't had his receivers stepped up. Gallup showed a little bit of a flash last week, but not really. They just don't look good. So they're just relying heavily on Zeke.
Yeah, exactly. Dak Prescott hasn't really clicked this year at all. Like, there's nothing that's really proven to me that Dak Prescott is what the Cowboys thought that he was going to be.
Yeah. And breaking news, Hugh Jackson just said Nick Chubb gonna get some more work.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't like Hyde.
Yeah. Well, speaking on that's right on cue as well.
Yeah. So, Baker Mayfield versus Baltimore.
As a sit. You think people are starting Baker Mayfield?
Sit. I mean, if you are, some people
quarterback
are.
leagues. Yeah, 2 quarterback
right.
leagues.
Some people are looking at it.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just about the hype.
Yeah.
A lot of quarterbacks have good matchups this week. To be very honest with you guys, so I'm sure a lot of you guys' quarterbacks have a decent play. So if you're in a 2 quarterback league, these sits are more for that. But I don't like Baker Mayfield versus Baltimore.
Yeah.
There's just a tough matchup. They have a hard defense. They give Big Ben a hard time with that kind of offense.
Exactly.
Imagine a rookie. Mayfield's going to be able to extend the play, but even then...
extending the play makes stupid passes as well.
Yeah, and one thing you got to remember, too, is Baltimore's quick.
Yeah,
so that's just one thing that he keeps forgetting, that the defenders are quick. But
yeah, I like that one.
I don't like Baker Mayfield this week. So
we like him for waiver wire pick purposes, but not for start purposes yet.
Yeah.
Always. So on to the tight ends. There's not a lot of
tight ends, guys.
There's a lot of tight ends got hurt. So we actually struggled for sits. So let's just get the sit out of the way. The only sit that we have is David Njoku, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah,
because a lot of tight ends are hurt, so you gotta plug them in.
I thought this was gonna be a year of some solid tight ends and tight ends actually like breaking through and like, oh yeah, we're gonna perform. But damn, everybody's getting hurt.
At this point, in week 5, it's a lot of plugins, guys. A lot of plugins that we're trying to get through here. So we don't really have any sits except David and Joku.
Yeah, and Joku is the one that I don't like just because of his matchup.
I personally didn't have any sits down. I couldn't, I just, like, personally for me, I can't stand any tight end. I need to...
Cheers. So going right into the defenses now, right? So defense is a thing that I like to really stream week by week basis. Playing the statue?
Yeah, I was fucking with you. I got froze. I froze.
Yeah, me too.
You guys will be in the comments there. Damn, so, computer freeze at 8:09.
Hey, did you guys buffer too? What? Alright. Alright, guys. So for defenses, last week I told you guys to go pick up the Green Bay Packers, and they did work. They put up like 22, 23 points. So for me, I like going based off a week-by-week basis. I know some people drafted defenses and have questioned, when should I drop my defense to stream another defense, or should I ever drop them? So, just...
Well, I actually have a question for you, actually. Yes. Since you are my own personal fantasy guru, Alex, and I need some fantasy advice. Yeah. So, I actually have the Eagles' defense, and the Eagles' defense hasn't really put up many points this year. They put up 13 week 1, 9, 4, and 7.
Okay.
Out of a defense that was really, I guess, coming high into the league, and I'm considering dropping the Eagles' defense for a defense this week. What do you think about dropping the Eagles' defense, man? Like, I need some help. I need some advice here, brother.
So, for me, I don't think that you should drop the Eagles' defense just because they're going to get picked up like that.
Yeah, it's
they have a very talented squad.
They do.
If you look at the up front, if you look at their backfield,
maybe the secondary.
So, they have a really talented squad. So with that, they might be a better matchup play, but they're such a solid team that you're going to want to have them on your roster, right? So I would say that keep them and then look to stream another defense week by week.
What defense you got in mind for me this week, man?
So there's a couple of defenses that I like. Like I told you guys before, too, I like anybody that's going up against backup quarterbacks or rookie quarterbacks. Okay. So the Titans look nice this week as well, too, going up against the Rook. The Broncos look nice going up against Darnold and the Jets. I like the Ravens as well, too, against Baker Mayfield. So that's a good one.
I actually thought about picking up the Browns defense. What do you think about that?
The Browns defense going up against the Falcons.
Joe Flacco.
I could see that being a lower scoring game, and then Joe Flacco likes to throw picks, so that's not a bad defense, and they've actually been performing pretty well.
The Browns' stats on defense this year.
Let's see here.
The Browns actually have 24 points, 10 points, 13 points, and 7.
So yeah, they've been performing well.
They've gotten 7 interceptions this year, 6 forced fumble recoveries, and 6, 10, 12 sacks.
Okay.
And allow about average 20 points a game.
That's good.
That's not bad, huh?
So yeah, that's a good pickup as well too. So yeah, that's good. But I wouldn't drop the Eagles defense.
So someone who's on my team, who would you, I guess, drop? Because I have a team like Drew on my bench. I'm not gonna drop anyone in my starting lineup, but on my bench I have like Carson Wentz, Corral, Austin Eckler, D.D. Westbrook, Mike Williams, David Njoku. But like we're in a keeper league, so like people like D.D. Westbrook have some value to me, and Mike Williams has some value to me.
So for you, you're in a position. Well, you're lucky right there because Tyler Eifert got hurt. Yeah. So you could probably drop him. So he might be a good person to pick up a streaming defense.
But what do you think I should drop Tyler Eifert for another tight end?
So you have
how about David Njoku?
That's the guy that hasn't really produced too much. He has a really bad matchup this week, like I told you. So you might consider streaming him for another one, or even if that's picking up somebody or trading for a tight end, because at this point you've lost how many tight ends?
Yeah, every week I've had a new starting tight end, guys. So
he's already gone through four different tight ends who've gotten hurt. So for him, I mean, you kind of need somebody that's going to be reliable, solid for you. Yeah. So because at this point you're wasting 2 roster spots on tight ends.
Well, honestly, I mean, there's some team out there in our league that's Kyle Rudolph, and I want him. That's him, by the way. But our league actually vetoed our trade. They didn't like it, or on the process of it. The trade was I was able to get Rudolph and Ridley for OBJ and Isaiah Corral. Like, I know you guys are like, well, you gotta trade OBJ, but like OBJ hasn't really gave me the numbers I want this year. And we play in a keeper league, and Calvin Ridley would be a 16th round pick for me next. Or not like a 12th round pick for me next year. Yeah, right. 12th round pick for me next year, and that's a great value for Calvin Ridley, he mentioned earlier in the show he's going off.
Yeah, he's leading. He's a touchdown.
It's not an outside trade because it actually helps us both. He's in a win now situation where he needs that wide receiver number 2 like solidified, and I have a lot of depth at my wide receiver position where I could lose someone like Odell Beckham for someone like Rudolph who would benefit me more than Odell Beckham.
Rudolph and Ridley, who can replace that as your flex spot.
Yeah, because I have really good depth at the wide receiver position.
Because you got Thomas.
I got Thomas. I have Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller, Mike Williams, Westbrook, and then if I'm acquiring Ridley, so I mean I'm not, it's not that big of a loss with OBJ.
But whatever.
But that's not you guys' problem. That's our league problem. But like we said, hopefully we're able to help you guys. Just make sure you guys got these starts and sits this week. Let us know if you listen to our advice, and let us know if you need any starts and sits. Before your those games happen. We're most likely going to reply to you within, I would say, a couple hours, maybe even like a day at most.
Yeah.
We're on top of those.
To you guys as quickly as possible.
Shout out to everyone who's commented in the comments below. I'm off the top of my head, I can think of Chris Yorkstrom's. He's been out there commenting a couple. Let me pull up some comments real quick. Just give you guys a quick little shout out. We appreciate that a lot. Like I said, Chris Yorkstrom, Beltran0343. Thank you for commenting last week, even though your comment wasn't a good comment, but you gave us some criticism, so thank you to Beltran0343.
That our audio was messed up.
Apologize for that. We didn't
apologize for that as well too. So
thank you for that.
This week we're back in normal space and normal studio.
Joe the Foe, thank you for commenting last week.
My boy Kyle
Kornick, thank you for commenting. I appreciate that. Donald D, thank you for commenting. Aaron Acosta, thank you for commenting as well. And just thank you all you guys for commenting. We appreciate the support, and thank you guys for subscribing. We have a couple subscribers here. Belchannel343, Chris Curriel, thank you for subscribing, my man. Chef Satri, thank you for subscribing. Adam Panegas, thank you for subscribing. Tyron, thank you for subscribing. Sorry. Nika Hirsch, thank you for subscribing. Sorry. Oh my god. I know a guy named Tyron, so it's funny.
I love some of your guys' names.
Brandon Lee, thank you for subscribing, my man. Raymond Medina, thank you for subscribing. T. McCann, Jacob Mill, Jim Olivo, Anna Beltran, Jessica Beltran, thank you for subscribing, guys.
Bro, Anna Beltran just
came out with the new Anna Beltran, she's an author, man. Go ahead and check her out. I'll if I can remember, I'll put the link down below. If not, I believe that book's available on Amazon. Search up her name, Anna Beltran. There's your shout out. $3 for a book, can't go wrong with it, man. If you're a reader, if you're a bookworm out there, go ahead and read that book. I believe it's titled High Times Podcast is the best podcast on YouTube.
Something like that.
Something like that. I don't know. But shouts out to you, Anna Beltran.
So you want to get into some waivers or what?
Yeah, let's just make this one video. Let's just get into those waivers, man.
Might as well.
This is a short video today, so let's just get into those waivers right away. Like I said, waivers, we kind of just list your names, not necessarily stats or not necessarily matchups. It's more just names. We're just trying to throw out to you guys. And a name that I'm just gonna start off the top of my head, not in no orderly fashion. I like Cortland Sutton. I actually like what I saw out of him last week. That Monday night game for the Denver Broncos. They really incorporated him now. I like those three. He's in that slot. Emmanuel Sanders is doing his thing. Demaryius Thomas is doing his thing. And Cortland Sutton, those are two good guys to learn from. And Cortland Sutton down the line is definitely a wide receiver you could consider on your flex position. And that's what I like so far. Go ahead and start it. What do you like?
All right, guys. I'm going to go down and list a bunch of names for you guys, just so that way you guys can have these players.
Just write them down.
People that I like, just so that way you guys can go out there. They might be available for you. They might not be available for you. But, we'll see. So, Jared Goff is now owned in 92% of the league, so doubt he's going to be available there. So I told you guys pick him up.
Last week.
Guys, actually a few weeks ago as well too. So you guys, Patrick Mahomes as well too. Quarterback told you guys to pick up 96%. So nice.
Blake Bortles.
So we got Jared Cook, Sony Michel, the Chargers defense if they're not available. So Marquise Goodwin, he's available in a lot of leagues after he was dropped. Calvin Ridley, go cop him. Alex Smith. Ronald Jones as well too. He's coming back. He might take that starting job away from Payne Barber. So
a lot of upside to Ronald Jones.
Considering how easily Tampa Bay is able to switch jobs, Ronald Jones can easily just take
Winston,
that.
Baby.
Philip Lindsay, go scoop him up. He's a start of the week as well too. Owned in 46% of leagues. Tyler Lockett only owned in 40% of leagues, guys. Go and get him, please. Tyler Boyd, told you guys last week, go pick him up. Taylor Gabriel as well too. He had a lot of touches as well too. He's only owned in 0.6% of leagues.
Tyler Gabriel,
all right,
man.
Taylor Gabriel is starting to get a connection.
Mitchell
with
Trubisky. If you guys watched the video last week, I said start Mitchell Trubisky. My man put up 45 points, man.
Yup. So Nick Chubb, guys, sit on him. He's gonna get big by the end of the year.
Well, you just got the updates, and he's getting more reps.
Yeah.
Right?
So he's, I told you guys he's gonna have a slow start, but he's gonna get more of a solidified role towards the back end of the season. And you could see every time he touches the ball, he's becoming electric. So go pick him up. John Brown is still available in 20, and he's only owned in 22% of leagues.
Speaking of John
I told
Brown,
you guys he had a big game last week. Go pick him up.
The Ravens wide receiver core is falling along. I have Willie Snead right here. He only owned in 0.7% of the league. He's averaging about 10 plus points a game. Definitely not a nice little flex right there.
See right here, Baker Mayfield, nice little streamer. Like my boy Mondo right here said, D.D. Westbrook. He's only owned in 2% of leagues. Yeah. Right, he's a deep threat right there in Jacksonville. So,
well, he's our number 2, number 1 wide receiver.
You know what? If you guys are in a keeper league, go pick him up. Right, so keeper leagues, Cortland Sutton's a good one. Naheem Hines is a good one. Yeah. Mike Davis is another good one as well too. Running back from Seattle.
Right?
I wouldn't play him so much this week, but he's gonna be getting a little bit more of a better role. He's owned in 0.1%. Right, so I'm sure you guys have seen him run, or you guys seen him run after last week. If not, he ran pretty well. He looked like a little beast mode out there. So go pick him up now before everybody jumps on him. So Antonio Callaway as well too, wide receiver from Cleveland. Baker Mayfield loves him as well too. Owned in 5.5%. So
a lot of these guys aren't really owned as many.
I'm just throwing out a lot of these deep names for those PPR leagues, for those keeper leagues as well. So go and get them.
Yeah, like you said, for the most part, when we do waiver wire pickups, we're going based on like the keeper leagues, because I mean, come on, guys. Like realistically, in your guys' draft, you guys could agree with me or not, but if you're not in a keeper league, like 16th round picks, I mean, to me, they're kind of irrelevant, in my opinion. Like this year, I picked up Jeremy Hill, my 16th round pick, and he got hurt, but it was more of a toss up, I just picked him up because I needed another running back. But just imagine like keeping someone like he mentioned, Cortland Sutton or Calvin Ridley or Jared Goff in the 16th round pick next year. Like that's a steal. That's easily a steal next year. So like if you're in a keeper league, like utilize that waiver wire pickup. I mean, you don't even start them. Like there's like sleepers out there that I'm not gonna mention because I don't want people to be sleeping on my sleepers in my league that watch our podcast. But still, like, there's names out there that we know some names out there that I
think the fans need it.
You want to put some names out there? Look, if you're in a keeper league, don't be afraid to pick up someone who's on IR.
Who's injured. So
Hunter Henry.
3 big players that are good for keeper leagues who are going to be good for next year. You got Jerick McKinnon, Hunter Henry,
and Darius Geis. They're hurt. They're not going to produce this year.
Nobody's looking at them right now. Nobody's going to be seeing that they're putting up any points or anything like that.
If you have someone on your bench who's useless to you right now, you're never going to start him.
Some people have some weaklings on their bench that aren't doing anything for them.
Yep.
You might want to just dash somebody in as a 16th round pick, or
think about it now, guys.
You're right. Start thinking about next year, right? So when I'm sending out trades, I'm sending out trades for draft picks for next year.
Yeah.
Right. Those are the things that I'm looking at because I need to set myself up for the following season, right? So just make sure that you guys are looking at all aspects. If you guys have any question in regards to how to set up a trade, right? If how to set up draft picks for trades, right? How to send out a good trade, because a lot of the things that I hear is bullshit trades that are being sent out. Yeah. Trade rape after trade rape after trade rape trades, thinking somebody's going to bite. Nobody's going to bite. That's not going to get anybody anywhere, right? You want to make sure that you're sending out trades that are going to help you out, not kill you, but it's also going to benefit the other team as well too, because that's the only way that they're going to accept the trade or even think about wanting to trade with you, right? Yeah. So if you guys want a separate video for that too, we can even
stuff like that. Like at this point, trade targets are important. Because at this point in life, my bad. I'm sorry. Wow. I'm about to get motivation on you guys right now. But this point in the season, after week 5, I feel like, hit those trade targets. Like I said, I'm considering trading OBJ just because he doesn't really fit what I'm trying to do right now. And I'm trying to better myself for next year, like in keeper leagues. You know, Calvin really is going to be essential for me next year. Like, I'm in a position where I can win right now without OBJ, and that's just some risk that you have to be willing to take, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. But, you know, like I said, if you guys want certain videos like that, if you want to get more interactive with that, you know, we're willing to do that for you guys. Like we said, we're on Instagram, but comment below, you know, we're like commenting below.
Something that we're talking about as well too is we want to get a little bit more interactive with our guys, viewers and everything like that. So, you know, the more and more, you know, as we start growing and everything like that, we also want to kind of reach out our fantasy experience to you guys and have our viewers kind of join the league with us.
Yeah, it's something we definitely came up off topic, off camera. You know, we're like, how can we be more interactive with you guys? Like, how can we like feel like we know you guys a little bit more? And I was just like, why don't we just start a fantasy football league with some of our subscribers? Because obviously you guys play fantasy football, so I mean, if that's something you guys would like, I mean, comment down below. Just, I mean, maybe secure your spot right now. You know, if you guys want to secure those spots right now, comment down below and say you guys are down. You know, maybe we email you guys or comment you guys on the side, and we'll definitely get something started for next year, like a little meetup, something like that, you know? And for those who've never been in the keeper league, maybe, you know, that's something we could throw out there for you guys, or it'll explain to you guys a little bit more. That's definitely something we want to start doing, probably for next year. Always looking ahead. Always looking ahead. Let's do it.
All right,
yeah. For that's the most part. You know, I hope you guys liked our video today. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Please send our videos to people in your leagues. You know, that people that need that help, family members, anybody you guys know out there.
Yeah, please share, guys. Please share.
We need all the help we can get. I mean, right now we're satisfied. We're growing. We're growing right now. We got 36 subscribers. We appreciate all you guys subscribing out there. We just need, you know, more comments. You know, we're here to help you guys. And like I said, hopefully we get some more comments this week. We already shouts out everyone who commented. I appreciate you guys. But for the most part, that's it for the High Times Podcast, Episode 4, Week 5 edition. Until next week, you guys, go get that fantasy dub.
Yup.
Let's get it, guys.
What
Peace
up?
out.